패러데이 쇼다운. OK저축은행 브리온데 DNK DRX.
No, it's just going to be Alistar, which still fun, not quite as fun. But the DRX comp, I think, very well-rounded, strong lanes, a lot of team fighting power. Can struggle a little bit with range into some of the champions on DNF. We don't really have guaranteed lockdown for Ezreal, so Berserker can be a problem. Also playing into Skarner, Alistar. I do think that's a bit iffy.
We're getting ready for game number 1 of our second series of the night. DRX up against the DN Freaks. Let's hop into the Rift and see who takes game number 1. That's true.
Is that better or worse? You decide.
I'd say it's
worse.
You know,
like it does mean that he needs to be a. Let's say if it's UCal, he's
this guy
not
is
afraid.
a madman.
Does not super hot in the trade, but he has a cookie.
I don't think he cares.
No, he doesn't.
And now Sponge, I mean, he's got Flash, but that is Aurora, so.
Say that he flashed and then, because so Life tried to knock him back into his team as Dudu.
Oh, Dudu's in a lot of trouble. The exhaust getting some big value as the Ghost was used by Dudu, but no Flash. Means he's still safe. Sponge did not have Flash himself because he had to use it to get away from the Alistar, which means that the gank amounts to nothing.
Sponge does have Smite though, as does Pioshik though. I think Pioshik should get this. Yeah. There it is, free grubs. Very quickly stack up the permafrost, but as you highlighted, Sponge, no Flash. As Teddy might have to use his. Yeah. What's with its favorite cookie?
Do you like chocolate chip cookies? Yes. Okay.
No!
Well, we got an engage here on a Dudu as everything's missing, but it doesn't matter. They still kill him.
It's mostly just CS. You know, only a single plate has been taken.
UCal does have Flash. Looks like Pioshik doesn't want to throw out an ult just to try to bait a Flash. Dudu, there were pings in the river, but he did not see them. He is dead again, and this time it is Teddy who picks up.
In the case, it's UCal.
Uh-oh, in a bit of trouble. You see the ult and try to just peel for him, but he's just a quirky. The stun comes in, and UCal says, I'm dead. I'm not even going to flash. No real reason to. Andal also gets caught in the crossfire. Sponge, he tried
something really silly. White Fin, Valdez. And UCal, unfortunately, there did not walk on the right side of that line.
He does walk the line very often. Is great, so
it's
that team understands.
I'm not even. I'm not no broad anti, but it's blow it up as Bulldog.
Oh, this time right on the mark, and Bulldog just had no chance.
It was a long amount of time as Andale.
He's just hanging out. Pioshik is also here, so he's going to get locked into the wall in the Impale. And again, Andal also has his flash. Probably.
Art still procs.
Wow, Life found a great angle here on a UCal as the Impale does fly in a direction, but it wasn't the right one. Okay, now we're just TPing into die. Dudu's just dead. And so maybe Life, he gets a 3-man knockup, but he can only live for so long. Meanwhile, Pioshik's like, why'd you knock him into me? I didn't want to fight that. As he's going to run away. Bulldog also on the run here, hops the wall. Rich doesn't look like he'll follow up, so that's a good team fight for DRX.
It's amazing, right? And I do still think that the DN Freaks comp has a lot of power. They have an incredible amount of burst damage, good amount of lockdown. They just need to hit the skills.
So I think because it's Gwen, he's totally, yeah, it's a Life one up there. So, okay, that's going to be a cleanse, and they might just dive the turret as Berserker does walk it off. So you got to find UCal, but he's relatively safe. They have a very strong front line. There's just not a lot of value for her, I think, in this situation. As nice little knock-up, Andal going to throw out the ult just to try to survive, as now TP's coming in, but Andal's already dead. Life on the run. He is going to flash away, but the ult goes into Pioshik as he's desperately running away from the woman with scissors, as Rich is just running forward into all of them and doing incredible amounts of damage. The flash on in to secure the kill as well.
I hope we don't get the replay. There was a lot initially there that did not go right, but by the end of it.
Playing the map? Like, it hasn't been very difficult. Like, it's not much that DNF can do, as we're just going to pretend that didn't happen. But they're playing like 1-3-1, right?
You guys couldn't see the expression that Valdez made, but
yeah,
very funny.
Uh-oh. Bulldog on the run. The flash forward, of course, UCal's going to go for it. He's got Otacon as he picks up a kill.
Nice here, but the Dragon is something that's a future problem. You know, DNF did pick up one Drake of their own, so we're looking at 10 minutes before that's actually an issue.
All right, let's see his reaction.
Pop off.
가버려! 컷! 컷! 컷!
Jumps into Pyosik again. That's how they can win. I can see it.
Yeah, well, Pyosik's going to jump into UCal, and there is the Impale, the equalizer over the top, but also the bullet time is going to do quite a number. Both of the supports are out of this one. Rich, though, is just so fed. He's going so deep for this. He takes him down, but that's a 1-for-1, and Berserker's full health. An angle for him to maybe get something going. It ends up being an equal trade between the two teams, but Berserker got like 900 gold from Rich as well. Your scaling is fantastic. The Valkyrie in actually baits DNF into a fight that is not good for them. Rich going extremely deep, but this time he is able to get away with it as continuing to chase them down does go into Zonya's, which ends up being totally fine. Little ult here, bullet time comes in from Teddy, goes into the barrier. And he gets a bit low himself as Bulldog going in. There's the Impale on a UCal, but it isn't a bait once again. That's going to be another kill. No, they're all going so deep and getting taken down by Berserker once again. Looks like Bulldog did pick up.
UCal has just been aura farming this entire game, by the way. Like, I'm not even
yeah,
he has been.
Yeah.
That's all he's been doing, just walking up, staring down, and saying,
I am the most powerful Corki. Let me show you my power.
Exactly.
And it just doesn't matter. Like, yeah.
Anil.
Uh-oh. We got a Rel in trouble. And, yeah, it's just kind of free. The Impale is down, but it's kind of a broken place. He spawns as well in a lot of trouble. He's going to be taken down. DRX, what is happening? As DNF, they will take full advantage of this. As here comes the Skarner. No flashy Valkyrie's in because he doesn't have anywhere to go.
And Sponge is getting caught off guard. Rich is very strong.
He's
very
send
scary,
it, right?
as is Teddy.
Yeah.
They have to. Yeah, they can't do this.
He's going to send it.
Damage.
And Bulldog's just dead. Okay.
Berserker here
is tanking the Baron as a true shot barrage hits the Otacon pit.
Oh, no. Don't do that to him.
Oh, yeah.
They
Yeah,
barely got the cancel because of the shit.
Okay, well, he did go through the wall quite a lot, but I think he's just dead. All right, well, they killed Pyosik. So the joy of DNF was very short-lived.
What a game!
Yeah.
You gotta follow UCal because he's the king.
Guy. Yeah, he
he's
is.
the guy. So when UCal goes in,
He is the strongest.
exactly.
Right? Well, we got a little engage onto Rumble, as Dudu's actually pretty tanky. He's got a lot of health, and it's not going to amount to too much. Berserker just okay, gonna arcane shift over the wall. There goes both the sums. As now the Impale comes in, but it's not quite okay. They're gonna actually take out Rich. They get the Gwen. I didn't even realize that Gwen was in there. UCal Valkyrieing in once again, as he will have to flash away from that. Berserker, he wants more, but
You can only make jokes so many
you
times.
can keep on saying that, Chronicler.
Before it's not funny anymore. Look at Berserker. Get him a team. UCal safe.
Engage onto Skarner. And they're gonna get the flash, and there goes UCal, and he's gonna take him out. But will he survive? It looks like yes, he absolutely will. Just shreds two of them to pieces. Even Bulldog goes down as well. It looks like finally it's paid off for UCal. A Penta in the works if he could get over there, but it's not gonna happen. Teddy takes the kill. Dudu also goes down. It's an ace, and finally we will have a winner of this game. But truly, it was the viewers of this game that win this one. It's down look at the Nexus. DRX win in 36 minutes. And it's a clean 1-0. Nothing to see.
해주고 끌어보자. 스카우트한테. 나 믿고 해줘봐. 해줘봐. 나이스. 어떻게 이거? 괜찮겠다. 죽었어. 야, 오로라 봐봐, 오로라. 이제 노스펠이야. 그렇게 살아서 천천히 해보자. 나이스, 이거 임리모. 나 믿고 해봐, 그냥. 믿고 해봐. 노스펠. 맞아. 노스펠. 이거 임리모. 야, 죽여, 두두. 다 죽여. 그래, 스카우트 그냥 구멍이 이긴다니까. 그래. 각좀 잘 맞아. 와, 근데 영준이 형 세주환이 잘하네. 근데 사이드 잘 죽였다. 나이스.
Out there stuff. What can you even... there's nothing more to say.
It is a fed Ezreal as well. He did play well, but yeah. The damage doesn't tell the entire story of the magic of this.
If they would have picked Nautilus here, I would have been very
Well,
upset.
they're so far down the path that you can't turn around, right? Because you just die on the way back, so you just have to overcommit, right? So you just go for engage promise.
Yeah. Into Renata and Zinzao and Galio, and we should, you know, keep it cool.
Keep it together.
Keep it together, because
Keep it together, Chronicler.
even though this was extremely obvious, you yourself banned Nico, which, by the way, would have been great here. Like, they're playing a almost full melee comp.
See if it works out here for DRX with the almost full engaged comp as we're ready for game number 2. Let's hop on to the Rift.
The way that they get to play around the Braum passive is really, really solid. But they are going to need some help from Sponge. I think in the pure 2v2, they are still going to struggle. And if they don't have pressure in bot, life gets tough.
For some weird reason.
Well, so I like the idea of rogues, but I'm obviously not.
It doesn't match your personality at all.
Not even, I'm also...
The exact opposite. I don't think you can wield both because the staff is two-handed, right?
I guess, yeah.
Sponge is just doing the red buff. He's like, yeah, I should be fine, right?
He's not.
He is going to flash away. UCal is here. And Sponge will. Ridge's going to stop the back here. Sponge, level 7. But buying time for Pyosha to try to make its way down. The TP comes in as well. But Dudu, oh, the nice flash, but he's still going to go down. Can they get a response kill is the question. Bulldog took about 8 years to get here.
Cross map does come out here for DN Freaks. They're going to play for the Grubbies. We'll see if Sponge can steal one. Definitely wants to, but they do have enough people here. But if he queues over the wall, he doesn't have flash, so we'll just be queuing to his death.
Kill even one turret. That did happen in game 1. As the arrow, very on point. The engage comes through as the Renata, if she's stunned the whole time, not very good on the disengage. So a nice little pick off.
Mean that this Drake is just going to be given up. So DRX, kind of a fumble here. Sponge looks for a play. I kill Berserker.
Yeah, Berserker, he already flashed, so you can't get even further away from the Vi. It only hard committing to all this engage into the amount of disengage that DNF had. But if you get far ahead before the team fights even happen, it just doesn't matter.
Okay, we're going to get a fight.
Sometime.
Actual 5v5. DN Freaks, this is where you're strong. You have a ton of CC. Don't let Teddy play the game. Absorb their dive and then counter engage. You got this. You can do it. Oh, maybe they just get it? I think DRX is too late. There you go. That did a thing.
They get to a late enough game state, they can just kind of play the disengage game and say, okay, come into us if you want to. As Pyosha going to dash over some rocks. You engage into us and we win team fights. If the execution is there. Nice knockback on a Berserker here, though. Gonna throw his cleanse out, but now we've got the Renata in a lot of trouble. As there's the engage, the Mbessa from the bottom rope, as now Pyosha gonna go down in life as well, as it is a very broken up team fight for the side of DNF. And you know who just loves broken up team fights is the team with all the engage, where every single character can just run at you one by one and take them down. As now looking for Berserker. Oh, he does have his flash, but he is not going to use it as UCal nearly dies. Oh no, he's just going to die to the turret.
With his E there? Because Berserker didn't get stunned, right? I think it would have died otherwise. All right, so Drake goes to DRX. DN Freaks, and this is something like, we've been having a lot of fun, right? We've been
by the way, flash for that. He said, I'm an idiot. Nothing's happening, I swear. Dudu is going to get caught on the bottom side. He is Aatrox. He does have a decent way to get out of here. Sponge not going to follow up on that. So Flash and the World Ender used by Dudu just to survive. Here comes UCal, looking for Bulldog. And again, Rich is extremely fed, so just going to land that one onto the easy Galio. Chain CC for such a long time, and Bulldog just does not have a way out of that one. Yeah, they know, and they have 7 different ways to engage. Now, DNF...
This is a choke point.
Yeah, they got to the objective first. They're forcing DRX's hands. DNF are, as it is going to be smoked down. DNF get it, but the flowers are all going over to DRX, who have position as they take down a bunch of the flowers. There is the arrow in a Bulldog, but the Mikhails comes forward as now the Renata ult is fantastic, and everybody's grouped up for it. There's the engage, there's the trap finally coming to light for DNF. As will they be able to follow up and get any? Rich is going insane mode, and he continues to press that W key. He's just running into them. And yeah, it's just going to be a little bit too heavy on the wallets. That's about as good of an engage as you could hope for.
They would have crushed it. Actually getting value from the ultimate, kiting that, absorbing the initial blow. Almost worked last time.
Yeah. Sponge is coming around the back here. There's also a wall. Pyosik is alone in the Baron pit. There's the World Ender, as they say to DRX, you must come into us once again. But that is going to be the kill of the Baron, going over to DNF, as now the Renata only going to hit Sponge, as he does go down in a big Tron in the front line, but Bulldog has no follow-up from his teammates. They can't get past the Braum. And the damage of Teddy is just disgusting right now, as Ingo's Rich as well, just punching them down. And that should be the end of this fight. Everybody getting chunked out.
But they got in the play-ins just continued here, as there is nothing that the DN Freaks can do. Really did feel like in this game, you know, and in the last game, it's frustrating. It feels like outside of Berserker going, the proactive moments are just not working out, right? We're not seeing Pyosik go in. We're not seeing Life find angles. Take a look at the final fight.
아, 천천히. 영준 스마트. 바로 주고 보자. 바로 주고 보자. 아트.
Saint Aatrox.
야, 레아타 너고. 아트 노플. 레아타 너고.
Aatrox in a flash.
천천히 보자.
Take it slow.
바로 스택이야, 바로 스택. 바로 스택. 물어. 나 노플이야, 형. 다. 미드.
Just
끝나, 형? 끝났어.
general calls.
Let's go, bro.
Let's go, bro.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. 형이야.
There's farming clips!
That's really what they did the whole time. Teddy getting into it as well. I love to see that he's in a great mood.
Good vibes, Teddy.
Having a good time. He's the one that started it there at the end of that fight.
And for all...
Thank you very much, guys. This is Dear for the POM interview translation, joined by Rich on the side of DRX. Congratulations! Thank you. Rich has returned to the LCK. What a great start. This is your first victory in LCK round 1. How do you feel? Just really happy that I get to secure today's victory with a clean 2-0. And in game 1, the hot pick, Gwen, was left open today. So did you expect that? You know, I didn't think that it was going to be left open, but I think just because she was left open, I had a really great time. And many people have been rating Gwen very highly currently. So how do you feel about Gwen? I think Gwen is great. She's very strong. And even back in LPL, I had really good experience and good memories of playing Gwen, so I had a great time today as well. Today's player of the match was you, Rich. But if you were to pick a hidden MVP from today's match, who would it be? No, I think I would have wanted to pick Yukao, but because Teddy did so well with Ashe, I would have to give it over to Teddy. And since the LCK Cup, DRX has been showing a great potential. So, what have you been preparing the most? You know, my head coach had given us great advice since the LCK Cup, so I think that's just something that we had kept in mind since then to become a better team. So what will you do in preparation for your next match against T1? No, I hope that we are able to overcome some of the mistakes that we had made from today and be better and have a better showing in our next match against T1. And any word for your fans? Please look forward to DRX's performance, and thank you so much for all the support. Please keep supporting us. And that's the end of the interview with Rich, and back to the space. Thank you.